Welcome everyone to the Lowdown on Ridertown with the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders, 98.1 KHAK, 94.1 KRNA in the Union Station. This is our 7th show of the season, which means after tonight we only have 3 shows left until we wrap it up. Do want to put this out there right away so everyone knows we do not have a show next week. So March 13th, no Lowdown because the Riders have a game the following day. So we're going to take the week off next week, but then we're back on the 20th for another Lowdown on Ridertown. Want to make sure you guys know, so no need to come here next Tuesday, but save all your energy for that game at the stable next Wednesday night. And we'll see you back here on the 20th. But for tonight's show, want to thank once again the Union Station for having us, for the great food and drink specials. Want to thank Rick Boots Photography for taking the photos for us that get posted up on Facebook afterward, and the audio from last week's show is up right now. The Rough Riders, I think, just shared it yesterday. The guests on the show tonight were joined this week back with head coach Mark Carlson, but also by players Roman Ashan, Jordan Timmons, and Matt Thompson. And guys, before we get into questions with you, I want to do one last reminder. If you haven't yet signed up for the autographed jersey that we're giving away at the last show of the season, you can do that. The show, or the box I should say, is in the back. And tonight, going with a little blizzard blazer is what I'm calling this. It's winter themed with the weather outside. We've got a little snow. I want to thank you guys for coming out in what is doesn't exactly feel like spring. It's a little winter, but we want to thank you guys for coming out. So we'll get right into the questions for the guys. Jordan, I'll start on your end. Player bio. So where you come from and how you wound up here with the Rough Riders.
I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I got drafted last year by the Muskegon Lumberjacks in the Phase 2 draft and got traded here in January.
And then Matt, how did you get here to the Rough Riders and where are you from?
I'm from Boston. I started the year off in Lowdown and got traded here a couple weeks ago.
And then Roman, where you're from and how you wound up here in Cedar Rapids.
I'm from Burnsville, Minnesota, and I wound up here beginning of the season after things in Central Illinois didn't work out.
Now, Jordan, I want to ask you, how did you initially get into the game of hockey? What inspired that love for the sport?
I mean, my dad played growing up, and when I was born, he was still coaching, so I was always at the rink with him. When he was coaching his team, and I got along well with those guys. Even when I was 1, 2 years old, they all showed me the game and showed me how to play. So I guess that was how I got started.
Matt, how about you? How did you initially get involved?
My dad played college hockey, so me and my brothers, just growing up, we're always playing hockey and playing together.
And then Roman, I'll wrap it up with you. How did you get involved in the sport of hockey?
Yeah, I've had a rink in my backyard since I was really little, so my dad obviously was out there working on it, so I was battling with my brother in the backyard.
Now, Coach, as I always ask when you're here with us, if you can take a few moments, talk about each of these guys and why you decided to bring them on board with the Rough Riders.
Sure. Yeah, it's quite a cast here. All different stories. Jordan, just a kind of a situation where we watched him on tape a lot. We also watched him play midget, and the opportunity was there to bring him over, so we did that. And Thomas was kind of the same thing. He was playing with Youngstown, and we had known him a little bit from from back east and watched him there. And then Roman's his own kind of story as usual. We actually watched Roman play. I saw Roman play a lot live last year for Burnsville, and his own little neck of the woods up there. And we really liked him. We liked him a lot last year. And the way we were kind of putting our team together, we had a number of guys that were of similar size. So true story, we kind of waited around a little bit, and then before we had a chance to get him, Bloomington took him. And then, as he said, things didn't work out in Bloomington. So we were happy to get him at that time.
Now, Matt, in your case, you're a fairly new addition to the Riders. You kind of spoke about that earlier. When you came into the Rough Riders, you're leading the USHL with 10 power play goals. What's the adjustment been like to fit in with this team and to get adjusted, get into the flow of things?
Yeah, I think it's a little different. Join a new team pretty far into the season. You want to find everybody's role and find your own role to help the team in as many ways as possible. But, I mean, the guys here do a real good job, and we have a real good leadership core in there. So it's a pretty easy transition since all the guys help me out really well.
Now, we always cover college commitments. Roman, in your case, you've committed to the University of Wisconsin, correct?
Yep.
What went into that decision?
Well, they started talking to me last year, and I had a couple couple different schools that I was thinking about going to, and I just kind of talked to my brother, and he just said once you go on your visit, you'll know which one you want to go to, and your heart will go to one of them. So you pick which one.
So a little brotherly advice from a former Rough Rider, your
That's
brother
right.
Jack Ashawn.
Yep.
So what was that like growing up? A lot of competitiveness in the household?
Oh yeah, lots of fights.
Lots of fights. What kind of fights? How aggressive did these fights get?
From heads going into walls, knee hockey sticks flying across the room. It was all over the place.
Coach, did you know about any of these hijinks when they were growing up?
I'm not surprised that there's heads going in the walls in the Sean residence.
Okay.
Not at all.
You guys had like early, that's like early prep for hockey.
Right.
Yeah, right. Jordan, you've committed to UConn, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
What went into that decision?
I don't know. I was talking to a couple schools, like, the same as Roman, I guess, and I went on some visits, and, that campus was beautiful, and the coaching staff, I liked them a lot, so I just felt comfortable there.
Now, Matt, in your case, Northeastern, correct?
Yes, correct.
So obviously in your original neck of the woods, what else went into that decision on your end?
Yeah, a lot of different things went into it, but so my dad played at UNH, but my uncle was a walk-on at Northeastern, and he ended up getting cut before his career was done there, before his 4 years. So I feel like there's a little unfinished business there, and I want to take it into my own hands and finish it off.
Now, I can still kind of get a trace of it, but has your time in the Midwest or around these parts kind of worn off the East Coast or the Boston accent a little bit, or do you think it's the same as it's always been?
I think it wears it off. I mean, me, Mark, and TJ were talking about it, and Harry and some of the other Mass guys, and I don't know. I feel like when I first came out here, it was definitely a little stronger, but it wears off a little bit.
The Midwest will do that to you.
Yeah.
Flatten it out a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Jordan, in your case, I know you overcame a fluke injury last year, and I know that we don't want to bring it up maybe too much. Any of the guys give you a hard time about that?
Yeah, a little bit.
So you want to tell us exactly what happened for anyone who didn't read or who isn't in the know on that one?
For anyone that hasn't seen it, it is all TJ Walsh's fault. I don't know, we were just going out for warm-ups, and I wasn't really paying attention, and TJ, threw all the pucks off onto the ice, and I just kind of skated into them. And when I went to turn, there was a puck under my toe and lifted my blade off the ground. So, I just went down and tried to stop myself, and shoulder popped right out.
Now, is that a team consensus that TJ is at fault for that?
It's my consensus.
Okay. Coach, you going with that, or are you just going to play neutral on this one?
Yeah, I got to go with it.
Okay. And Jordan, semi-serious with that, how do you bounce back from an injury like that overall, no matter how you suffer it?
I mean, you don't want to be known as the guy that dislocated his shoulder in warm-ups, so you got to do something to, make people forget, even though it'll keep coming up. So, I don't know, I've just been working hard trying to, get back to where I was last season.
You probably were like, man, I did a good job of it, and then tonight it reared its head again, right?
I mean, it's never really gone away.
Now, Roman, I kind of teased it earlier that your brother played with the Rough Riders. Did you have any knowledge of the organization, the program, before you got here because of your brother's involvement?
Yeah, I came down for a bunch of games when he was playing, and I loved it. His atmosphere at the fans and everything was just unbelievable. So.
Now, Coach, over the years, you've had a few sibling pairings pass through the organization. Does that help in scouting when you've had a guy come through here before and then you know their brother or family member, you kind of know you got a strong character, guy comes from a good family, that sort of thing? Does that help on your end?
Yeah, I think it does. It does help a lot. And as Roman said, he came down last year and practiced with us a couple times, and I'm sorry, 2 years ago. And I think made a trip with us too one time. Came on the bus, and so that was good to have him around, and so we thought we had a real good feel for him.
Now, in terms of guys with your life off the ice, if you want to tell us some of your hobbies, activities, stuff you do when you're not playing hockey, Jordan, I'll start on your end.
I hang out with Mark and TJ a lot and play video games sometimes.
Just occasionally, right?
Occasionally.
Yeah, on the side.
Every once in a while we'll go see a movie or, read a book or whatever.
Those are a varied list of activities. I liked it. Yeah. Any books to request or to give a suggestion to the audience? Anything anyone should read?
I don't know. I read a couple of the Jack Reacher books. Those ones are really good. Lone Survivor is a real good one too.
Favorite video game?
Oh boy.
I don't know. I don't really play that many video games. I haven't really played Fortnite very much. So.
Wow, you might be the only. Wow, I think you're the first guy up here who hasn't repped for Fortnite.
Yeah, probably NBA 2K.
Okay, well, I like variety.
Yeah.
Matt, how about you? What do you do off the ice?
I like shooting pucks a lot. Me.
Even off the ice, like street hockey?
Yeah, I tend to do that a lot. Merrick usually joins me, so I like doing that. It makes me happy. And then I hang out with Roman a lot. We get along well. So,
Coach, do you like that full commitment to the game of hockey?
Classic.
Forget the other activities, just straight up.
Classic, yeah.
Roman, that's a tough one to follow, but you want to give it a shot in terms of activities, hobbies off the ice, or maybe, still hockey related? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I got a cabin in Grand Rapids that I like to go to in the summer, and we hunt and fish and just kind of hang out with some water sports.
Now we've got the speed round coming up where I got the insider information, as always, from the housing families on you guys, so we're going to cover that. Coach, you got something?
Yeah, I'd like to interrupt you. I just noticed that Roman has some other skills. We have a staff member. Mm-hmm. His nickname is the Bird. And I just noticed today that I'm glad that I went up and was around the weightlifting session a little bit, that Roman can, he can, I guess I would say he can sing like multiple birds. And I'd like to hear, I think he should demonstrate some of the tweeting.
Roman?
Yeah. All right. Wait. And then, what was that?
The second one was really good.
Like the higher pitch one?
Yeah.
That's very impressive. That deserves a round of applause for sure.
Oh, wait, the other one.
Oh, there's another one coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good finisher. You got to go out on that one. So I have to ask, Roman, since those are pretty realistic, do you ever go outside and try to attract birds?
No birds answer.
No birds answer? I thought it might be like that thing with clapping and the pigeons, like they'll come around or anything.
No,
it doesn't work.
Not a bird whisperer.
Those are pretty realistic, though. Coach, I'm glad you gave us that little insider. I did not get that through the email chain.
No, because this is like hot off the press.
Oh, this is okay, yeah.
An hour ago.
This is what you get in the Lowdown on Ridertown.
Exactly right.
Straight
That's
information.
why you got to be here. You got to be present at the show.
You got to be present, because if you hear this a week from now or a couple of days on the replay, it's not going to have the same effect. We have upcoming games for the Riders this weekend. Friday at home against Waterloo. That's a player card giveaway night and a Cowbell Cup game, of course. And then Saturday home at the Stable once again against Green Bay, and that's ALS night. I know that's always a big night for the Rough Riders. So let's get into the speed round with most of the information I have from the housing families, but also some stuff that I dug up too. Let's just start out with you guys telling us about each of your housing families, who you live with. Jordan, I'll start on your end.
I live with Doug and Janelle Banowitz. I live with Mark and TJ as well. Our billet brother Nick and our little dog Clyde.
Clyde.
Yeah, they're awesome. Real nice people, and took me in last year, and let me stay this year as well. So they're great people.
What's it like living with other players in the billet house too?
It's fun. It's never boring, especially having a billet brother in high school as well. We're always hanging out together, and you're really never bored.
And what high school do you go to here in Cedar Rapids?
What high school do I go to?
Yeah.
I went to Wash High last year, but I graduated.
And when you went to Wash, how was it interacting with the other students there when they know you're a hockey player, know you're playing for the Rough Riders?
They don't really treat you that different. I mean, obviously we didn't really know many people there, but the couple classes that I had with some people, I met some good kids, and it was fun.
Matt, how about your housing family? Who do you live with?
I live with Mitch and Janice Jones, and their two kids, Reese and Eli, and Roman's my roommate. And no, I was really happy that they, obviously I got traded here a couple weeks ago, so I was really happy they opened up their home to me, and they're really outgoing, really good people, so they do a lot of good stuff for us.
And Roman, what's it like living with Matt?
It's good. He's stayed for like 4 weeks now, and my other roommates, I kind of had like 4 roommates this year, so It's nice to get close with one of them.
Yeah, you didn't take that personally or anything?
No,
like, why are these
my own parents said I was bad luck, but I just don't believe that.
Okay. Matt, I think you're going to be the one that turns it around.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, okay. As far as nicknames, you guys have any? Roman, I'll start with you.
Coach calls me Ro. He started that one up this year. I get that back home too, but other than that, no.
Matt, how about you? Any nicknames?
A lot of guys call me like Tomps or Matty, but I don't know who started it, but somebody started calling. I wore like a baggy winter hat to one of the games, and the guy started calling me Marv from Home Alone. So, and then Coach started calling me it, so now I think everybody calls me that.
Now it's stuck? Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuck.
Coach, did you like that one?
I thought that was unreal, Marv, actually.
Yeah, that was a good relation.
Yeah,
that was a good movie relation. Jordan, that's a tough one to follow up. Any nicknames that you know of?
Timmy, that's pretty much the only one. I don't really know any others.
All right, now Jordan, I'm sticking with you on this one. The Rough Riders have had a Star Wars theme night in the past, and the insider information I got on you, one of the bullet points was a great impression of a Star Wars character. We've already had Bird impressions from Roman. You want to try to one-up him with the Star Wars?
I don't know if I can do it right now. My throat's pretty dry.
You got it.
You got it.
Chewbacca request a glass of water from the...
Yeah, can I get a glass of water?
And I'm not going to ask you who it is beforehand because I want to see how good it is and see if we can get feedback from this one. We're just waiting on water. This is the beauty of a podcast. We're just going to let this one.
That's awesome.
We're going to let this one elongate.
Well, that great service here at the Union Station Extension.
Yes, quick water.
All right.
I don't even need to ask. That was good. A round of applause for that one. I mean, Coach, I know you got blown away today by the birds, but what about that one?
No, this has been a really good show so far.
This has been a good one. Yeah. Okay, Roman, I'm going to ask you about your hometown. You're from Savage, Minnesota, right?
Yep.
That's a pretty epic name for a hometown.
Yeah,
that's pretty
Savage.
Good. Now, let me know about the best restaurant place to go, either in Savage or I know you're really close to Minneapolis, too, so you can do both or one or whatever you feel like.
There's a close little steak spot. It's called, it's in Prior Lake, right next to it. It's called Perrin's. It's really good. And then in Minneapolis, it's Casetta's. Just love going to Casetta's.
Now, what do you get when you go there?
Casetta's or?
Both. Let's do both.
Casetta's is just like pasta and pizza, top it with a little cannoli. And then at Perrin's, I get a nice big steak.
Coach, Cassetti's kind of sounds up your alley. You ever been there?
I haven't, but it's going to be on the agenda next time I go up there scouting.
Yeah, you got to make that happen. Matt, how about you? I know you're right outside Boston. Best place to go in Boston or right around there?
Best place to go in Boston, I'd say, is probably Limoncello. It's right in the north end.
And what kind of restaurant?
It's an Italian restaurant. It's real small.
And then Jordan, you're from just outside Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
What's the go-to spot in Pittsburgh?
There's two that are my favorite, but I mean, there's one, it's called Permani's. It's kind of famous in Pittsburgh. The real good sandwiches, burgers, pizza, all that kind of stuff. And then the other one is Fiore's Pizzeria. There's like two locations, but the best one's the original one downtown. It's like a real small place, and pizza's just unbelievable.
Now, do you have a highlight or go-to sandwich that you got to get, like your order?
The one at Permani's is the Pittsburgher. I mean, they just put like five different meats on top.
That sounded impressive. Yeah, I was going to ask, what's on this? This is pretty good.
Got like a bunch of different meats on it, lettuce, tomatoes, and then they put like French fries on top of it, and everything on the sandwich.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. It's not exactly healthy though.
Coach, you've been through Pittsburgh on a few occasions. You ever had that one?
Actually, Tammy and I have. We went to how do you pronounce it, Permante's?
Yeah, Permani's.
Yeah, Permani's, one of the locations downtown. And so they put the fries are like part of the sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
They're on top.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's gotten some pub on TV. I think it was a Man vs. Food or something.
Yeah, Man vs. Food went there, and I know Phil Kessel's tweeted about it a couple times.
Now, Jordan, I'm going to stick with you on this one. I heard that you have impeccable hiding skills. You're a master.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a master. I just sometimes I forget where I put things. the one time I hid Mark's keys, like, to his car as a joke, and didn't forget where I hid them. I forgot that I hid them. And he was, like, looking for his car keys for, like, 3 days, and then I, like, started to, like, help him look for them. And then eventually I was like, oh, I hid those, like, 3 days ago. I completely forgot. So,
where were they at?
They were, like, in a, like, potted plant upstairs.
Now I heard that because of that, Mark had to go carless for the weekend. Like, no social life for the weekend. He was done.
Yeah, I was mad because I was driving him around.
So you kind of paid for that one. That kind of backfired on you.
Yeah.
I thought Mark mentioned something when he was up here about some sort of, like, something was in a potted plant. So, yeah, we finally connected the dots on that one. Now, Roman and Matt, this one I'm going to ask for a little audience participation. I'll have, like, a little quiz time. I was told that there's, like, a number of bottles of shower products between you guys in the shower. Anyone out in the audience want to guess the number? Anyone? Way more than that.
Can I guess?
Yeah. Let's do an over-under.
26.
26 is right. 26. Guys, how do you... Yeah, Roman,
I
get
can
in
vouch
this.
for this one. One, I do like my shampoo, but also all my roommates have left their shampoos in my shower. So it all adds up. Spencer's, whatever, Irish Spring, Cardelli's Bedhead, it's all over the place. Yeah.
So does that rub it in where you have to go take a shower and you see, like, all your former teammates?
Yeah, just a bunch of different options.
How many are directly tied to you, like, do you want to take credit for?
Maybe 4.
4, okay.
Yeah.
Matt, how about you? How many are you accountable for?
Yeah, like 4 or 6.
4. So basically, like, still we're talking like 8 to 10 between the both of you.
Well, it's a body wash, conditioner, shampoo, and then an extra one, just like...
Yeah, we like to
mix
look
it up.
Like
good.
to look good? Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, did you know about this proliferation of shower products?
Yeah, I did not. I was not aware of this. This is pretty good.
Jordan, we'll rope you in. How many shower products do you have?
0. I think right now we have 0.
You can probably borrow from these guys if you need to.
Between the 3 of us.
So there we go. So we've got 8 to 10 shower products between the 3 because Jordan's not coming with any right now. How about favorite? We were talking about housing families. How about favorite meal at the housing family? Jordan, I'll start on your end.
I don't know.
What do you say? Oh, okay.
Gotta say, when we have, like, chocolate chip pancakes or, like, blueberry pancakes.
Oh, that's good.
But Janelle always makes us chicken patties, for lunch, and we love those chicken patties.
Now, I heard a story related to the chicken patties. I heard that, sometimes you get pretty creative in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. I heard the story that I heard directly was that one night, late night after a game, you fixed up something pretty amazing. Is that true?
Yeah, I did.
What was it?
I was talking to Mark, and I was like, we didn't have buns to make, like, the sandwiches for the chicken patties, and I didn't want to just, like, eat it with ketchup, so I was, like, trying to think of, like, stuff that I could do, and I said I wanted buffalo chicken, and so I was just going to, like, put, like, hot sauce and ranch on a plate and, like, mix it up and, like, dip the chicken in it, and then Mark had the idea to put it all in, like, a Ziploc bag and, like, shake it up and all the ingredients, and I did it, and it was delicious.
It sounds amazing. Is that the best thing you think you've made?
Yeah, probably. I can't make anything besides eggs.
And then the second part of that story is I heard the only down part of that story is that the oven was left on.
Yeah. This is at, like, I don't know, we got home from a trip, and it was, like, probably 3 in the morning, and, we were starving, so we just made these, and I don't know, I guess being so tired or, not really paying attention, I left the oven on.
But all good, though?
Yeah, it was all
house
good.
burning?
No, the house didn't burn down.
Who discovered the oven still on?
I think my dad Doug in the morning when he woke up.
You didn't take any heat for that, though? All good?
I took a little bit, but we have a history of that happening in the family. So Janelle left on like a little, I don't even know what it is. It's like a little skillet or something, and she left that on when she was making us, like, sandwiches the one day, and TJ came upstairs and, like, smelled burning and, like, turned it off.
So you guys are good then?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, it's all
good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Coach, you a little concerned with the player safety now that you know that ovens are getting left on and whatnot?
Yeah, probably has to go in the housing rules next year. Turn off appliances.
There you go. That'll have to be a bullet point on the list, yeah.
Absolutely.
Matt, how about you? Favorite housing meal?
Probably homemade chicken parm. Janice makes real good.
That sounds good. Roman, how about you?
Yeah, it's really good also, and I like Mitch's steaks with the bacon wrapped around them. It's really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Roman, a few weeks back, I think it might have been during the karaoke episode, a lot of guys were throwing out your name as someone to watch for. They were like, yeah, Roman's probably coming strong. Do you have a reputation in the locker room for being an entertainer?
I like to dance, like to sing a little bit, but it's kind of like a closure thing, like team guys.
Yeah, team. Which one did you do for karaoke night? I forget. You want to remind me?
Brown Eyed Girl.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
DJ Walsh.
That was good. Coach, do you remember that one? That stand out from karaoke?
I do recall.
Yeah. Jordan, did you do one?
Yeah, we did. There was like 6 of us. We did the YMCA.
Oh, yeah, that was good with the costumes. Yeah, that was good. Matt, how about you?
I was in that one.
You were in that one?
Yeah.
Which character were you guys?
I don't know what character I was. I was wearing like a boat, like a sailor's hat with a mustache, and sunglasses.
Yeah, like Navy, I think probably.
Yeah,
Jordan, do you remember what you were rocking?
Yeah, I was wearing sunglasses and like an old like a police cap or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, you guys did a good job. You matched that up. That was like the real village people. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
Roman, did you appreciate that? When they put the extra mile in, extra effort?
Yeah, it's good effort.
How about favorite NHL team and then player? Jordan, I'll start on your end.
Favorite NHL team is hometown Pittsburgh Penguins, but also the Colorado Avalanche. And favorite player, I don't know. Obviously, Crosby is growing up in Pittsburgh, you learn to love Crosby, and probably David Backes from the Bruins as well.
Matt, how about you? Favorite team, player?
Favorite team is Boston Bruins. Favorite player is also Crosby and Jamie Benn.
And then Roman, how about you for favorite team and player?
Favorite team, Minnesota Wild, and favorite player to watch is Connor McDavid.
Now, how often do you keep in touch with your brother on a regular basis?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
So you guys are pretty tight?
Yeah.
Now, how about, as we wrap up here, best moment or memory in the game of hockey? Jordan, I'll start on your end. Something that really sticks out?
Probably winning the U18 National Championship 2 years ago.
Matt, how about you?
My freshman year of high school, I won a state championship in Massachusetts, and my brother was a senior.
And then Roman, how about on your end?
2 years ago when I went to the Minnesota high school hockey tournament.
Now, you guys have 2 games coming up this weekend. Your thoughts as you head into the weekend action? You get 2 home games, so that's nice. You don't have to go on the road. Jordan, I'll start with you.
We won 1 out of 2 last weekend, and that's kind of been the story for a little while, so we need to turn that around and start winning consistently. So this will be a good test for us this weekend. We got Waterloo, who's a really good team, up first, so if we can take them out, and hopefully we can get 2 this weekend.
Matt, how about you as far as thoughts on this weekend's action?
Yeah, so anytime you can play at home, especially 2 nights in a row, it's a huge advantage. So I think we need to take advantage of that and just play tough and get the crowd into it and get 4 points.
And Roman, how about you? Your thoughts?
Yeah, we need to put together 2 games this weekend and give our full effort, 60 minutes each game.
Now, Coach, I know you volunteered the information about Roman earlier. Anything that I left out or that I forgot to mention about these guys that comes to mind? Don't want to make sure we have every rock overturned on this one. Anything coming to mind?
No, not that I can think of. I think we did pretty good tonight, actually. Pretty solid effort, Cool.
Yeah. Guys, you got anything, like anybody you want to call out that you're up on stage? This is the time to just absolutely throw teammates under the bus if you want to.
All right, we got 2 things to tell you about our dinner. We had 2 things that happened at dinner. You can start with the mashed potatoes.
So our billet dad made us some roast beef and mashed potatoes, and when we were eating, and he was like, "Oh, how are the mashed potatoes? Like, we grew them." And Roman just dropped his knife and fork and looked him in the eyes and said, "You grew mashed potatoes?"
Wait. There's one. This is worse. So Matt's phone is dead. He was like, "Dude, my phone's dead." And I was like, and I have the new phone or whatever, and I was like, "Dude, just put mine together. It'll charge." He's like, "No way." So he tried putting both our phones together to charge them, and it was just bad.
Matt, were you disappointed when you found out that wasn't gonna work?
Yeah, he has that new iPhone X, so I thought it might be some cool new gadget.
Yeah.
No, he ruined my night.
Yeah, it's kind of a downer for the night. Yeah. Coach, did you know about this dinner? The mashed potatoes. That's a pretty good line, Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't using the brain.
Yeah, I was fortunate to hear both of those earlier, so
Yeah.
it's good to hear them again.
All right, well, guys, as always, thanks for coming on, and also thanks for filling in that finer information. I did not get that through the bulleted points tonight. That's why I always ask at the end if I missed something.
There you go.
Of course.
Can you ask the panel if anyone else has had any injuries due to tripping over a puck?
Has anyone else had any tripping injuries or anything that wasn't directly hockey related?
Probably the most embarrassing injury I've ever had was, I don't think Mark or TJ was there. We all work out together in the summer, but one day I was deadlifting and I sneezed and threw my back out, and I was out for a good 2 months.
Wow. George, you know about this?
I didn't. I still think that is way worse than tripping on a puck.
There you go. You covered for yours. It's all good. Now, Matt, how does the aftermath of that go?
I mean, I just didn't want to tell anybody. Everybody kept asking me. I remember Mark kept asking me why I wasn't at the gym, and I didn't want to tell him because he was going to make fun of me, so it's pretty embarrassing.
Coach, you started laughing halfway through, so did you know about this beforehand?
No, I did not. That's a good story.
Matt, when you initially said that, I thought it was going to be an accident of another kind. When you said he sneezed when you were deadlifting, I thought maybe it was going to be like a change of pants episode or something.
No, nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Okay, yeah. See, it wasn't nearly as embarrassing as I thought it was going to be, yeah. I was going to have a lot of respect for you if you admitted that on stage, though. That was going to be really good. Roman, did you know about this throwing out the back incident?
Yeah, I heard it last week in the locker room.
I don't know what better way to just wrap up the show than that. I think we should just wrap on that one. Want to thank you guys for coming out. Players, coach, thanks again for being on the Lowdown on Ridertown.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Want to thank everyone for coming out. A reminder, 2 games for the Rough Riders, both at home this weekend. They happen to be Friday against Waterloo and then Saturday against Green Bay. That's ALS night, and also the Rough Riders are wearing those special jerseys. They look good from what I've seen on Facebook, and those will be auctioned off at the end of the weekend. A final reminder, we do not have a show next week, so the 13th, but we'll be back here on the 20th for another Lowdown on Ridertown with the Rough Riders. Thanks, everybody.